Hi, Emmy.
Hi, Miss Renee. Hi, everybody. I'm Emmy, and I'm excited to be talking to you guys today.
Awesome. So, Emmy, can you tell us just a little bit about yourself? What you love to do? Academics. Just you being the typical 13-year-old teenager, and what you love to do.
Okay. School next year, and I like to ski and go see movies with my friends, and everybody loves to shop at my age, so of course I love to shop. And I also like to sew, so that's fun.
Oh, that's
Mhm.
so. Emmy, who or what inspired you to get into this business of show?
Okay, so my friend Kaylin, when we were younger, I was about 12, we did a show together, and she had already been doing all this stuff. Like, she had already been acting and doing all this stuff in New York, and I was like, I want to do that too. So we got together and we decided we wanted to go to a camp, an acting camp, in New York City, and it was TVI Actors Camp, which I know a lot of you are familiar with. And that was really like the first thing I ever did as an actor, um, and that was who inspired me. It's my friend Kaylin.
Awesome.
Awesome.
Okay,
Okay,
so
so
now
now
from
from
that,
that,
what have you
you
been learning and what have you been doing since, doing your workshops and going to Florida and doing different conventions and learning things? Can you tell us what you've been up to over the past year?
Yeah, after Shine, I met up with the production company. It's a faith-based production company, and they're called Kicks Flicks. And I auditioned for them, and I am now in their up-and-coming sitcom, which is going to be released really soon. And I'm starting to film the movie I'm in with them, and that's called Wings of the Wind, and that's coming out this fall. And I'm also going to be in a new PBS Kids sitcom, and that's it so far. But it's really exciting.
That's great. Now, can you tell us where you've been training and what you love about the performing arts, whether it's dance or singing or whatever it may be, and what piece of advice could you give to other teens such as yourself and those that are younger than you? What kind of advice would you give to them right now?
Yeah. I really like the whole acting aspect because it's just so fun. Like, you get to be whatever you want to be. You get to decide. You have all these choices. Like, sometimes with singing, you have to follow the correct notes, or dancing, you have to always follow the correct steps. With acting, you can do whatever you want. Like, you are the actor. You get to decide everything. And my advice for people is to just 100% be yourself and go for it, because that is what I have learned. I used to be really shy, and now I'm not, because I've been doing all this, and it's just so freeing to just be yourself and just go for it.
Okay,
okay,
and that's a
that's
great
a
piece of
great piece of
advice.
advice.
Now,
Now,
I want to ask you, so far to date, what's been one of the most exciting projects that you've worked on? And I know you've been out in California, right? And you reunited with your best friend out in LA, and you did some workshops and you worked with some people. Can you tell us a little bit about that experience from you being on the East Coast and then flying all the way to the West Coast, meeting new people? Can you share that experience with us?
Yes. The East and West Coast are completely different, as a lot of you probably know. I went out this past summer, to the West Coast with my best friend, Kaylin, who I mentioned before, and we went to the Rage Entertainment Complex for 3 weeks, and we did these amazing performing arts camps, and one of them was Hollywood Launch, and it was so fun. We got to do singing and acting and dancing, and we got to really learn how, as a performer in California, you have to mix that all together and create an image for yourself. And that's really what I learned on the West Coast. And one of my favorite projects with that was we were in a girl group, and we got to rehearse like a real like band, and we had like these late night rehearsals, and like up until 3 a.m. rehearsing, singing our song, and it was just so fun. And at the end, we got to perform in Disney, and it was just amazing.
That's
that's
pretty
just
cool.
pretty
That's an
cool. That's an
amazing
amazing
experience.
experience.
Now, can you let us know some of the people that helped you along the way with this Disney experience that you learned from, and what did you take from these producers and these songwriters and these people? What did you take from them as far as you wanting to build onto your career?
Yes. So one main person who ran the camp was Jonathan George, and he is such a cool guy. He is so fun, and like he really is encouraging, and he just encouraged me to really try my hardest, like even if I'm feeling tired or sick or anything, just to keep going, because like if you really want this, you have to have perseverance. And that's really what I learned. And from him, that camp, I learned that I really wanted to do some more singing with my career and add that on a lot more. So
that's great.
yeah.
Now,
I did the Christmas show at American Music Theater, and it was so amazing because I was a featured dancer and I was accepted as that role, which is the one I wanted. And so I got to do that, and I got to be lifted by a dancer and do all that fun, cute stuff that every girl dreams of. And it was so challenging and fun because it was so many rehearsal hours, and it was my first like real professional show that I got to experience the atmosphere.
That's excellent. Can you give us an idea of what your schedule will be like this up and coming year? I know you'll be in high school, pertaining to your academics and your performing arts schedule.
Yeah, the high school I'm going to is very, very encouraging with what I'm doing, and they're so supportive. And so I'm going to be continuing my acting and singing and dancing lessons. I'm going to be going up to New York as much as possible on the weekends or late weekdays. And I'm definitely going to my dance schools, my ballet training, and I'm going to find a new singing coach to get started with, and I'm really excited for next year.
That's excellent. Now, what I would love to say is I would love to challenge our students and our performers, our singers and dancers that are watching right now. A lot of the times, we do our goal setting for our academics in school, or things that, we might want to purchase, or, helping our parents out with whatever we are doing. Where do you see yourself in 6 months from a year to now? Where do you see yourself? What are your goals, or what's one of your major goals, and where do you see yourself next year?
I see myself having straight A's. Obviously, I really want to perfect my academic life, and I see myself, one of my goals that I want to fulfill next year is I want to get more experience in theater. So I want to have like maybe a regional theater in New York or something, maybe off Broadway or New Jersey. That's really where I want to go next year.
Oh, that's great. That's excellent. Emily, thank you so much for sharing your time with us, and for inspiring and encouraging the next generation of performers that, if they continue to work hard, if they continue to strive and write those goals, it will happen. Because, I've known you for almost 2 years, and look what's happened in your career, and you're continuing to grow. So I'm just so just honored to have been able to teach you and to continue to mold you. I'm excited. I can't wait to see, what else happens in your career. You're at the beginnings, but you've done so many things so far. And it's just really great to be able to see that you were staying focused and keeping your eyes on the prize, and just really having your family and your really close friends helping you to get to where you want to go to. So I'm so proud of you. Thank you so much for sharing with us today on the PAR site. And everyone, please check Emmy out. Her website is emmyanderson.com. EMMY Anderson, ANDERSON.com, and I will definitely make sure that I put it underneath of this link as well. She has a nice body of work so far as a dancer, as a singer, and as a print model, as well as an actress. So please, everyone that is watching the show today, let's continue to encourage and inspire our young performing artists to continue to grow, to continue to challenge themselves, and to continue to do what they have been called to do. So, Emmy, thank you so much today for this interview.
Thank you so much for having me. It was so fun.
Awesome. Thank you.
Bye.
So,
I'm Ryan Myers. I go by Ryan, currently 19 years old, student at Camden County College, majoring in broadcast journalism.
Awesome. Excellent. So Ryan, can you tell us, Ryan, how you got started in this business of show? Like how it came to be that you love the art so much at such a young age?
I think I always loved it. I was introduced to the hit musical, Andrew Lloyd Webber's hit musical, Joseph, the Music Technicolor Dreamcoat, back in the first grade. And I watched that, and I loved what I saw. Our school did a production of it, a school version of it that year, and I just fell in love. And then through there, experienced his other musicals he had. and then found a lovely, it's called Main Stage Arts, where for a good 4 years, I took lessons in acting and voice, did summer stage program, which was great. That gave me so many opportunities to myself as a singer and participated in some of their other shows there. And then from there, it was just almost like a plowing, like a head first dive. I took voice lessons, and I still currently take voice lessons, and opened so many doors to talk with agents. I have an acting coach that I work with for on screen, with on camera, and then it just plummeted. And and watching movies, it got the love. I know that sounds cliche, but that's how it started.
At the stage to actually now you've taken it upon yourself to direct and produce at such a young age and be behind the scenes and create things, and now you're interviewing and you have your own blog, and you're creating your own fan base, and you are our next generation. So you're encouraging even others that are younger than you, like 10, 15-year-olds, saying, hey, if Rye could do it, I can do it. So tell me, how did that all come about?
It came about, well, as you said, you had encourage. That's a big motto, is encourage, inspire, empower. It came about, I love the arts and entertainment, and it came about, I got fed up with seeing, at my age, turning on the TV and, walking into stores and just seeing trash about the entertainment world,
Yeah.
and I love being on camera. I love being on screen. And I don't want to say necessarily took a break from acting and singing, because I still do theater, but I wanted to focus on a career and a goal that was going to get me somewhere, broadcast journalism.
Smart.
I had the wonderful idea. I saw YouTube videos of people doing it. You know what? They're making videos of fun things. Why don't I do what I love, talking to people? And that's when I started in the summer. At my ministry that I go to, I was talking to the pastor there, Pastor Pernell Wright at VIP Ministries, and he was like, go for it. Why don't you try it? So in the summer, I came up. I was going through different names of what did I want to call this, because I wanted it to be big, and I came up with Positivity Project.
I love
and
it.
I focused on encouraging, inspiring, and empowering individuals. And what I do is basically, I have my own website, as you said, I blog and YouTube channel, and I interview Broadway stars, people locally who are doing good, making a difference. It's a fun news network. I didn't realize, because there's times where like, oh God, it's not, and I just keep saying to myself, what person at my age doing this is doing something good and is, wanting to make a difference in the face of news, because that's my whole, that's my whole purpose, is to, difference, and to make people, when they read it or look at my videos, like feel a little sense of like happiness, feel good walking away. So it's awesome. You can, if everyone's interested, I'd love for them to check out my site. They can go to www.thepositivityproject.org. You can also on there, you'll see where you can follow me on my social networks, Twitter, Facebook. But just let you know, you can follow me on Twitter at Rye the News Guy, and like me on Facebook, facebook.com/thepositivityproject1. So you want to keep in touch with me through there. But it's
good. One piece of simple advice would you give to your peers? You're speaking to your peers right now. What would you say?
And it may sound cliche, but it's the truth. Follow your heart. Do what you do and believe in, whether it is wanting to be a pro baseball player, or wanting to be on the stage of Broadway, or being behind the cameras, or even working in, you want to be a manager of a supermarket. That's goal, maybe runs in your family. Put your heart to it. Do it, and do not give up until you have what you've done. The best advice I was ever given was, find something you like, do it, and do it well.
Yes.
And that's exactly what I have to say to you, is follow your heart and don't stop until you're there, because you may say, oh, I'm just a little person, but you can really change the world and make a difference. So no matter what it is, don't give up, keep pressing on, keep being the best you, encourage people, inspire people, empower people along the way. And you can do anything in the world, in this entire world, if you put your heart to it. And that is a fact. And I have seen that personally firsthand.
That's a loaded question. Mm-hmm. But I think I started when I was in fourth grade. I started doing shows, and then I think my love for music and just performing grew from there. I did summer theater camps. So, and then once I saw that, I was like, wow, I actually have potential and there's some talent there. I, started to take music lessons. I went to New York a few times for some workshops and, worked with some Broadway professionals, which was awesome, and just to get that experience. And then soon enough, I found my way to Nashville, and that's where my love for songwriting grew. And I just started writing, and eventually made my own demo. And then sooner or later, I never thought songwriting would lead me to start my own kind of project, which really has become this more than just about music. It's more about social activism, and I've started the Love is Love project. So it's really integrating, my creative ability as well as my desire to make a change in the world and kind of use my knowledge about LGBT rights and kind of make them go hand in hand and hopefully achieve greater goals like equality.
Awesome. Okay. So can I ask you, I'd love to ask you, who inspired you, or what inspired you to drive you into writing music? And was it a family members, friends, a situation that happened? But what inspired you?
It's so funny because that is one thing that I never thought I could do. It never even crossed my mind, songwriting. I mean, Renee, I've been in musicals. Like, that was my thing. I was like, oh yeah, I want to go on Broadway. Like that, right. That was my goal. And it still is one. I really would love to do that. But really, after I guess just being in the Nashville environment and that aura of just so many creative people and writing and stuff, I was like, wow, like I'm just going to give it a try and just kind of use the experiences and the emotions that were kind of bottled up inside of me and just kind of put them into writing and see where it went. And it actually, I thought it was pretty good at it. So, I just kept doing it. And yeah, of course, my first couple of songs were like, tragic. But, I think the more you write and the more you get feedback from people and, just hearing what they think about the song and the different critiques, I'm able to grow from them, learn from, okay, all right, that really didn't work, but how can I make it better? And then now I feel like I'm a stronger songwriter because of it. And I love it. So, I mean, now I just use so many different inspirations and experiences from my life to write songs. I think that's just what songwriting is.
Yeah, it's basically your music inspirations, some of the musicians and maybe people that you have met along the way while you were, down in Tennessee and Nashville, or even out in LA. What are some of your musical inspirations as far as vocalists and musicians?
Wow. Okay. Well, of course, I'll start with my teachers. I think they're the ones who have really encouraged me and inspired me to keep doing what I was doing and just give me that encouragement to say that I can do this. Mm-hmm. So I think it all starts with my piano teacher and my vocal teacher, which was Mrs. D, Paula Ann DiGiannovittorio. I mean, she's the one who really pushed me, and I was like, no, I can't do it. And she's like, no, you got it. And then, choreographers like you, Renee, my dance teachers, Michelle from Artists in Motion, just the people who just want to help you and want to see you grow. And I think those people have really, really inspired me, I think, more than anybody. But of course, I do have the people in the industry that I look up to as well. As far as vocalists and I guess musicians, I'm such a Phil Collins fan. Okay. It's kind of so 80s, but I love the 80s music in that genre.
Old school. I love it.
I love that. I just always jammed. I always get happy when that comes on. But I also like contemporary artists like Keith Urban. I just think his style and just everything about his music is really relatable and really cool. Yeah, I think those are kind of the main people. But I think also the inspirations come from not just like musical artists, but also just people in general that are public speakers and have been present, in the world, like Ellen DeGeneres, just LGBT activists, and Harvey Milk. And I think people like that, just anybody who's learned this year is that you definitely have to be self-motivated. You have to do it yourself, learn everything that you can, even though you're like, oh, that's not really what I do. Learn it, because I mean, I'm learning so many different things. Like, I not only had to put on a performance and perform, I had to organize, I had to talk to people, I had to plan this whole kind of event. And I never thought like that's what I would be doing, because, I just the creative aspect. But you really should learn the business and the creative and everything about that. And I know it probably at your age, it's kind of hard, but if you can, just expose yourself to it and just learn as much as you can, because we're living in such a world right now that you can do everything and people expect you to do everything. And sometimes it's really frustrating and it's hard and difficult, but that's just the way it is right now. But I think if you have that passion and if you're self-motivated.
Can you tell us a little bit about that song and why what inspired you and what pushed you to write that song?
Me was a song, it's, basically talks about bullying and overcoming the struggles that come along with it, and being someone who has been bullied and continues, it happens on a daily basis, not as often as it was when I was in middle school or high school. But I felt like that song, and I think that's just what I was talking about before, is that songwriting for me is putting it out on paper and kind of acknowledging those feelings, and that's how I overcome some struggles. And for me to write that song, it's like, there it happened, and this is me moving on, and this is me kind of standing up for myself. And I'd hope that people would relate to it and be inspired by it, because people are going to knock you down and they're going to try to tell you who you are. And you just got to be confident who you are and say, this is me. So, I'm not
That's right now. Yep, acapella.
Okay. This is who I am today. Never gonna change my ways for fools who make fun of me. Go and stand at my front door. I'm not scared anymore, 'cause I'm who I wanna be. Oh, this is who I am, Miami.
Yes, thanks, Johnny. Yay, that was great. Well, that's fun. See, yeah, this was my first time making somebody sing on the spot. But that's a great thing. You know why? Because you weren't embarrassed, you weren't ashamed, you weren't, timid. You were just like, you know what, I'm going to go for it and do it. And that right there is what people really want to see. They want to see the real you, raw, just here and ready. And you have that raw natural talent. You have a gift. Continue to just keep blessing everyone else as well too. As you continue to grow and learn, keep writing those songs, keep on going. Don't stop, don't give up, because it will happen. It will happen. It's just a matter of when will it happen,